All you shooters, you're exercising one of your inalienable rights. Those are the rights given to us by God. The right of self-defense, because if you can't defend your property and your body is your property, then you have no other rights. Can't have them if you're dead. Our founding document, Declaration of Independence, states that governments are instituted among men to protect those rights. So my advice is to get in young often and be active in government. Dave Sampson, he's the coach. Come on up here. He's a coach of the Sutter Union Trap, Skeet, Sporting Clay, and Olympic Bunker Shotgun Team. And they were recently named 2017 U.S. Open National Champions. We're delighted and honored to recognize them for that impressive achievement. And I'm going to have Dave expound on that a bit.
Well, thank you very much. This is a great honor. I really appreciate you having us here. And these kids worked hard and earned what they do. They just keep winning. You know, we consider ourselves a youth development program, and that's what we're all about. These kids just have done a phenomenal job. We also have with us tonight our new members. Many of the team that was with us in Vegas graduated and moved on. They're off to college, and we have a new batch of kids here that are doing really well. Matter of fact, in the last Sporting Clay shoot, they just pulled off a first place in JV and varsity. And but anyway, they're shooting really well. And I want to introduce a couple of coaches. Jeff Camaro right here in the orange shirt. You want to stand up, Jeff, or wait? Tony Bizzano, back there in the back. Tony runs our Olympic bunker program, and for 2 years in a row, we've had 4 kids go back to Colorado to the Junior Olympics and compete. And he runs the program. He's also the USA shooting representative for the state of California. All the scores go through him for the Junior Olympics. Would you guys come on up here? But first, Rob Klotz, right next to him. He's our Skeet coach. We started Skeet about 2 years ago. Go ahead, come on up here. We started Skeet 2 years ago, and for 2 years we've been state champions, and this last year we were national champions, and Rob runs the program. Did a great job. Kids too. Why don't you all come up here? Show off and be proud. We started this team in 2011. Sutter High School's had a rifle team for about 20 years. The rifle team has done very well. Lots of scholarships, and this year we had a scholarship. In fact, he's not here, and neither could his dad, who's a coach and runs our Sporting Clay program, Bert Manuel. But anyway, Dino won high overall at Vegas, meaning he was high in all 3 venues, Skeet, Trap, and Sporting Clays. They don't have a bunker yet at Nationals, but we're working on that. But he got a pretty significant scholarship to Midland University, and that's where he is right now, and he's shooting for Midland. So, on a college team. And Rob now is helping the UNR team in Reno with their Skeet program as well. So he travels. So, but anyway, if anybody has any questions, I can answer the questions for you. Or no questions? Any of you coaches want to say anything?
How much do you practice?
Well, depends on what season we're in. We practice a lot. Right now we're in the Sporting Clay season. We practice twice a week, sometimes 3, if we're close to a shoot. And we have 4 series shoots and then a state championship. We just had our 2nd series shoot. We have 2 more series shoots, and then the state championship for Sporting Clays will be right before Thanksgiving, November 12th.
You guys are from Sutter High School?
Yes. Also, Yuba City School District, both Yuba City High School and River Valley have teams. And Marysville High School has a team. East Nicholas has a team, and so does Wheatland.
Where do you guys practice?
Well, that's a good topic to bring up, because we practice mainly at Coon Creek, which is down in Rio. So pretty big facility, but it's full. and we're looking to build some ranges. There's one on the books in Roseville that's been there, but they don't have any funding for it. And right now we're looking at building a range out in the Buttes off of Pass Road. We've already talked to a property owner. One other thing I'll bring up here is I work for the sheriff's office, and I've been appointed to a committee with our new CAO to look into building this range. And we're trying to work with 2 different property owners out there to develop one. We're thinking big because I'm on the board of directors for our league. One of my jobs is recruiting new teams, and that's why we have these teams at these other high schools. But I've got high schools right now that want to start teams, and we've got no place for them to shoot. So we need ranges built, and not small ranges. I'm talking about significant size ranges where we can hold shoots. Well, we're looking at 143 acres, and we'll probably
3 acres?
develop about half of that.
143 acres.
And one of the things that's driving this also is the homeless problem here in Yuba City. As you know, we had some issues last year, and the Board of Supervisors took some action. And our training center, Sheriff's Office Training Center down there is going to be maybe used for other purposes. Part of the problem is that the FAA has come in and said, you owe us money, and now we're going to have to pay for the property that's down there, which means Twin Cities Rod and Gun Club is county property. The posse, Sheriff's Posse, is county property. These are organizations that lease from the county. Well, it's going to increase their lease significantly because the county has to pay FAA. Well, we're trying to work out or mitigate a way for that not to happen, and then also create a alternative site for the homeless, because we can't make people leave without a place for them to go. So we want to create a place for them to go down there, and then if they don't leave, then we can make them leave. So.
Is this on? There we are. What's your annual budget for the shooting?
Well, it costs for trap only about $1,000 a kid. So, and right now we have 37 kids in the program. So, and then if you add Skeet, I haven't run the numbers yet on Skeet. Rob, unless you have any idea.
About 1,200 a month.
About 1,200 a month? Yeah. Okay. And sporting clays, as many kids as we have now and as much as we're shooting, we've changed the program quite a bit, probably pretty close to that. So if you figure all 3 venues, you know, $1,000 to $1,200 a kid per year. Bunker, significantly less participation in bunker because that's an Olympic sport, very challenging. How many kids did you have in the program, Tony?
I had 9 the first year, I had 7 the second year.
That's just for Sutter. But for the whole league in California, I think you only had 28 kids total. So that gives you an idea there. But Olympic bunker is a very challenging sport. They have it only in 3 places in Northern California. One's at Coon Creek and Rio. So the other one's in Martinez, and then Livermore has one. And basically you stand behind the house, which is underground. There's a cover over the top of it. And then there's 5 shooting stations, 6 shooters shoot at a time. The birds come out at about 78 miles an hour, but twice as fast as trap, and they come out either a hard left, straight away, or a hard right, and it's an extreme hard left and hard right, and you never know what angle or what height it's going to come out. Very challenging sport. You know, most shooters that we come out and try to introduce the sport to, we don't take them to the bunker course. Not until they've had a few seasons of trap and sporting clays or maybe some skeet, then we'll introduce them to bunker, unless they really want to see it, and then we'll let them. But we try to avoid that because it'd be very discouraging. It's a very challenging sport. If you've ever watched the Olympics or seen it on the Olympics, they don't get a whole lot of media coverage, but it is on TV now and again. In high school, we have a high school program, so it's just high school age kids. However, the league that we're in has club teams, and those club teams also have junior shooters, and they start in 5th grade or below. If they're old enough and big enough and they can handle a weapon safely, they can shoot in the program. And then 6th, 7th, and 8th grades are intermediate entry for a first-year shooter, and then intermediate advance for an advanced shooter. And they can shoot in the junior program. And we have a lot of, I think there was 280 kids in our program that were in the junior program in our league, which is the California Youth Shooting Sports Association. In our program, well, in fact, one thing I'll bring up is that a lot of high schools are starting junior teams. And that's one of the things that we need to do. They will shoot as a club. There's several high schools in South Placer County that have junior teams, and it's a feeder program for the high school program, basically. But they shoot as a club against other clubs. So,
Way to use any public facilities like Butte County next to the clay pit? I mean, that's an open range there.
well, actually, Butte County has plans to build a range there, a trap and skeet range there with 4 houses and 4 skeet fields. No funding yet,
No funding.
but it's there, it's on the books, and it's all planned out.
What about the public ranges there now? You guys couldn't just use that?
Well, we could, but you know, with trap and skeet, trap requires a field, so it's concrete. You have a 16-yard line back to the 27, then the house is 16 feet or 16 yards in front of you. That's in the ground a good 4 feet. You have about a $5,000 or $6,000 machine that goes in it. Plus you have the voice command controls, which are wireless microphones that the kid, when they call for the target, it's in front of them so that the machine hears it and throws a target.
Can you get these plans online, or do you have any engineering
Absolutely.
plans? What do you think the projected cost on something like that would be?
Well, to build one skeet field, just pouring the concrete, and then usually the houses are cinder block with a metal roof of some type. The machines that go in them, depending on what type you buy, and you want to buy a good one, about $6,000 or $7,000, and then about another $1,500 for the microphone system, the wireless microphone system.
But the concrete's basically for the shooter.
Right.
Do you guys police the area when you're done?
Yes.
Okay. All right. But you don't know what your annual budget is right now?
For all 4 together?
Yeah.
I could get
I mean-
that to you. I just have to put it together.
Yeah. I mean, can you give me a rough average?
Well, $1,200 a kid, and we got 33 kids, but we have 33 kids, 37 kids in the program, 33 are shooting sporting clays right now. How many you got in skeet, Rob? 12 to 15 shooting skeet, and in bunker, 7 to 8.
Now, does that price, like you're closing to 40 grand, does that include facility rental?
We don't have to rent the facility. Normally what we do is we pay by the round. In other words, the kid comes out and he shoots a round of skeet, and that's $6 for a round of skeet. Round of skeet's $25. Same with the round of trap. It's 25, and it's $6 a round. And then ammunition on top of that.
Do you guys load your own ammo?
No,
That might save something.
takes a lot of time. I've reloaded ammo for years.
Yeah.
As much as these kids shoot, a bunch of ammos they go through, there's no way in the world I could.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we were all reloading, there's no way.
Kids
in the
for
world.
homework tonight?
Yeah. Extra credit, right?
Dave, tell them how many targets or how many rounds they shoot at practice.
We shoot 50 at trap. In other words, 2 rounds and then 2 boxes of shells. So it's actually about $26 a kid per night. And we practice 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays for trap. That's just trap.
Get close to competitions, some of them are shooting 100 rounds.
Yeah, many of the kids shoot more than what is basically required. Some of the teams shoot 100 rounds of practice. We don't do that because we like to keep it at least somewhat affordable, but if a kid is doing well and wants to shoot more than that, they can, and they do frequently when they start getting good. And Tony's son just graduated, but throughout his shooting career in high school, he shot in a lot of other venues for extra practice. He shot in the adult venues, won some money, and shot, any opportunity he had. So, but that takes a lot of money, and Tony was able to afford that, but it's very expensive.
Coach, I just wanted to give you and your team, some words of praise and encouragement. What you're doing and what you've achieved is very impressive, and that's why we've asked you here today to just honor that, and we really respect your motivation and your ingenuity and your stick-to-itiveness to achieve greatness. And I just hope that you keep that motivation, keep that energy, and just continue to strive for greatness in this sport and in everything that you do. You guys are our future generation. You're our future leaders. You're going to be taking the baton and moving this country forward. And I wanted you to know that this sport, particular what you've chosen to spend your time and build your skill in, it is a sport of self-reliance. And it is what is necessary to maintain this great republic that we were given. And it's very easy to be lazy and dependent on the government. It doesn't take any motivation on anybody's part. It's easy to sit down on your couch, eat potato chips, and play video games. But what you're doing, you're building in yourself, you're building confidence that you have this skill that if you need to someday, you can rely on yourself to provide for you and your families. And it's something that we're losing in our society. A lot of our skills for self-reliance are degrading over the generations, and I'm very encouraged to see that it's holding true for this particular sport. And I hope you keep fostering that and share it with others and pass it on to your next generation. But I'm really encouraged by your success, and I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate what you've done, and what you've done is a great thing, and I hope you continue to have success. And I really appreciate you guys being here.
Well, thank you very much, and I couldn't have said it better. You just nailed our program. This is all about the youth, and this is all about youth development, and you just described it, so that was perfect. Thank you very much. If there are no other questions or anybody else have anything they want to add?
Thank you, Dave. Here, Dave, guys, stay up here for a minute. We'd like to present you and to your coaches for the varsity and the JV team, certificates of honor. And also, we feel like pikers now because we only bought you 2 cases of loads. You win another national championship and we'll double it, and every time you win a national championship, we'll double it again. How's that?
Oh,
Those will last, what, about 5 minutes?
30 seconds.
thank
So
you
here
very
you
much.
go, and we really appreciate you guys. Tammy couldn't have said it any better. She speaks from her heart. Okay, thank you guys. That's right. You young people need to get involved in securing your rights because they're coming after your guns.